Hi friends, this is Chris with Josephine's Designs. I am so excited to be with you today. I am in my dining room, set up my little table. Right over here is where I've got all my drawers semi-set up. We are in the process of trying to decide what the next step is. So, in the meantime, my sweet husband said, let's get some drawers and you can get your stuff organized. So, and we talked about it this morning again, and he was just like, yeah, go ahead and get it all done. So, first I'm going to share with you a couple of hauls. I've got a Dollar Tree haul, and I'm excited. I cannot remember if I shared this or not. I'm thinking I didn't because it hasn't been unpacked. So, I bought this a while back, but which Dollar Tree was this? This had to be in the city, in Austin. But there were just tons and tons of this thin washi that I love from Dollar Tree. And it is really good thin washi. So, I have 3 of these because I may use this purple on, and then this one has also kind of got a purple in there. I have yet to do the thank you notes for both of my parents' passings. My siblings and I discussed it, and it has just, I kind of am doing the marriage thing. You have up to a year to say thank you. So, that was my official etiquette comment. So, anyways, it's just such a difficult thing for me, and I think for everyone. So, I got this. I may use this for Valentine's. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. And I also picked up, this is so cute, it's just a little pocket of notes. I think I may use this as a template. You know how we do. We just get things and we take them apart and then we make them templates. So I thought that would be kind of fun. And, you know, kind of change it up to be my thing too. Always can use index cards for, what am I trying to say, journaling. And then I picked up some really wild pink sticky notes. Those may go to my girls in their Valentine stuffed envelopes that I'll be doing in the next week or so with you guys, Lord willing. And then they had just some really cute, you know, owl washi, which I love birds, so yeah. Okay, this is it. This is the world's quickest washi, quickest haul, but I did want to go ahead and, you know, share with you guys because I like sharing with you guys things that are affordable and quick, easy solutions. I don't want you guys to ever feel like you have to go and break the bank. I have a series of, Tuesday morning hauls that I am filming for the next couple of months. I have finished everything I can do at Tuesday morning, and that was just something to kind of round out some of the things I needed. And you know, as you look at those, you'll see how utilitarian they are. So, but I'm super excited. I've got my goodies here. I've got my little tray here that says blessed. It's loaded with my tea, but anyways, and a few things here. I've got stuff over here to the right on the table, all in jars set up for my next project. I am so excited to be with you guys today, and I've had many people send me the sweetest messages, and I want to say thank you to everyone who prayed for me. I am blessed, just like this tray says that I bought in, I don't know, October, and clearance, of course. Anyways, I didn't really kind of go into a lot of detail as to what happened when I went to the doctor's last week, but it was very disturbing. Whoops, sorry guys. You would think I would have all this turned off. Oh my goodness. This phone. My youngest and I were talking earlier that it has its own mind when it's time to turn off. It hides the button. It doesn't respond. I have no feeling in my hands or heat or whatever you need. Anyway, so what happened was about a week and a half ago I went and saw my doctor after all these, you know, literally a month of illness. And I'm still on antibiotics, still, you know, trying to get things under control. And I just went in for my physical because we didn't know what was going to happen with my husband's, you know, job and company, everything. So we're just trying to be proactive. And, sorry, I wanted to get that out of the way. So what happened was, I'm going to go ahead and start taking some of these out while we're talking. What happened was, I went in, we went through the regular stuff like we always do. And aren't these cute? I got these at the Camping World on clearance. I had a coupon too. They are so cute. Anyways, so, sorry, I digress. So long story short, I went in and we went through the regular stuff. And then she asked me, she said, because my physical was in the fall. And she's like, well, why are you back so soon? And I said, well, and she goes, well, you got everything else? And I said, yeah, taken care of, yeah, and everything else, everything's responding well, to all the other illnesses. And so, anyways, so she all of a sudden looked at me, and she was across the room. She said, Chris, let me check your thyroid. And I said, well, sure. I said, but I don't have a thyroid. And she goes, what? She goes, I can, let me check it. And so I said, okay. So she came over, and she felt my neck, and she said, Chris, I see the scar where you had your thyroid out, and they took the whole thing, right? And I said, yeah. And she goes, yeah, because they don't not take the whole thing anymore. And I said, yeah. So she said, there's a lump there. And I said, what? And she said, yeah. She said, do you mind if we get that scanned? And I said, no, of course not. Because when they took out my thyroid, there were nodules, and they had been there for a couple of years, and then they exponentially grew right before they took it out. They became hardened, kind of calcified. So it was concerning, but the surgeon told me then, we've done it. We got it done in time. Everything's good. So, and I said, so you feel a lump? And she said, I can see it. And I said, wow. She said, yeah, that's what kind of concerns me. And so, she had me feel, and I said, yeah, I feel it. I mean, now that you say it, I feel it. And anyway, so instantly, I mean, I've had so many cysts and lumps and tumors and multilocular cysts that they've taken out over the years. And so, at a certain point, it may not be, as easy. So long story short, she said, hey, I'm going to get you set up, give you the sheet. You go get this done. I said, okay. So I went into the hospital Tuesday. And I don't know what you believe, but I'm a Christian. And I had just been talking to my husband the night before, and I said, look, I'm going to tell you something. If it's cancer, God's got a plan. I'm not going to sweat it. We've just been through so many of these. And at some point, it's going to quit being benign. And I'm getting to that age. In the last 3 years, we have been under such stress and, just difficult situations that, it could be the perfect formula. And he said, yeah, I know what you mean. So anyways, I went in, and the tech came and got me, super great, and we love this hospital. And she comes in and she says, hey, let's go ahead. And I said, okay. And so I go on back after, all the checking into the hospital, blah, blah, blah stuff. And of course, none of that goes smoothly either, but that's okay. I mean, really, I'm not, I'm totally calm, which is so, in the past I've been concerned, but this time I'm just really calm. And, really had given it to God and thought, I'm ready for whatever you need me to do. And knowing every time I go in the hospital, and for every surgery, and for every, near miss, because I'm always the 10th of the 1%, I'm the one, that whatever the issue can be. And, anyways, to make a very long story short, the gal gets me going, we start chatting, and, she says, hey, I can't, show me where where the mass is. So I show her, and I said, it's right where that line is, where the surgical line is. And so she's like, well, can you show me? And I said, sure. And so she's checking and checking and checking and checking, and then all of a sudden she says, hold on one second, I can't find it. And I said, what? And she goes, I'm really sorry, I can't find it. And I said, well, hey, that's a good thing, right? That's what we prayed for. And she's just really stressed out. She said, oh, hold on, let me go talk to the radiologist. And I said, okay. So in walks the radiologist. And any of you know that when you have something like that in a hospital, at least in our small town hospital, or it's a medium city now, but anyways, out outside of our town. We have to go into another place and another town. And so anyways, he walks in and introduces himself. And these guys, you never see the radiologist. You always go through the techs. And which is great. I'm totally fine with that. And he comes in, he introduces himself. He says, "Hey, can we turn the light on?" I said, "Sure, do whatever you got to do." So he's looking for that scar line. And then they shut the light down, and he starts checking, and he says, "You know what? I can't, there isn't a tumor. There isn't a mass." And I said, "Well, she could see it from across the room, and I felt it, she felt it." And he goes, "Hold on." So he checks and checks and checks and checks. And I said, "Now I have a jugular where my thyroid used to be, which is in the wrong place, because when the surgeon did my surgery so many years ago, he checked the night before, because if not, he said he would have cut right through it." And he goes, "Well," he said, "let me look." And he said, "Now that's not your jugular." And I said, "Okay." And he said, "That's your carotid artery." And I was like, "Oh, okay, well, they're in your neck." And he goes, no, this part should be down in your chest." And he's like asking the gal, like, "Didn't you feel the pulsing?" And there was a more formal term. And I said, "You mean the pulse?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Yeah, you can take my pulse just right there." And he goes, "Yeah." He said, I see that." And he just kept asking her, like, "Didn't you see this?" And she was like, "Yeah." And anyways, so he's a really nice guy. And he said, well, he kind of finished up, and we stopped. He didn't quite finish, but he stopped, and he said, "I want to tell you something. You don't have a mass, and you don't have a tumor, and there's nothing there." And I said, "Well, has the thyroid regrown?" And he said, "No, thyroids cannot regrow. If it's there, it was left behind and should have been taken out." He said, "And that's not there." And I said, "Okay, well, I know the surgeon was really good." And he said, "Yeah." He said, and I said, "Well, that's good to know. The thyroid can't regrow." And he said, "Yeah." And he just said that your carotid artery is in your neck, in the front of your neck, and it should be down in your chest. And he said, and there's a very small percentage of people that are like you. And I said, "Okay, so what does that mean? Does the carotid artery look okay?" And he said, "No." And he goes, "How old are you?" So I told him. And he said, "Oh, okay, well, you're fine." And I said, So if I were 85, would I be fine?" He was like, "Yeah." I said, "If I were 25, would I be fine?" He goes, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Why'd you ask me how old I was?" Anyways, and I'm just trying not to laugh, because I laugh a lot, to kind of lighten up life. And so, anyways, he said, "Yeah," he said, "Seriously," he said, "You're fine. Just know that's where your carotid is." And he went on into more detail, and he went back and got back on and showed me in the and on the screen where everything was, and he explained it all. And he leaves, and she's looking at me like, "Hey," he helps me sit up, "Hey," da 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 da. Because at one point she even had me sitting up to try to find it. I mean, it was crazy. And anyways, but by then he had come in and he said, "Go ahead and lay back down. Let's double check this." So anyways, so he leaves, and she walks out with him, and then she comes back. She goes, I'm really sorry." And I said, "Why? This is exactly what we prayed for. There was something there last week, and by the time I showed up, it wasn't there." And to be honest, my husband and I talked about it later. I said, I'd already planned to get a second opinion, to get a biopsy, the whole thing. We've done this before. And I said, I cannot tell you how God not only answered our prayers, but he went one step further, and he said, "I know you're going to question this, so I'm going to bring the big guy in, and he's going to tell you too, the big, the doctor." And anyways, long story short, she was apologizing. I said, "Look, like I said, this is exactly what we prayed for. And I can't tell you," because my husband already called me 2 or 3 times that morning, "Have you gone? Do you know any answers?" And it was like, normally it takes 24 hours to get answers back. So we not only got the answer back immediately, got a second opinion, a very qualified second opinion, who then went through painstakingly and described every little thing on the screen as I asked questions. He gave us the answer right then. So I'm sharing this with you guys to say this. Our God hears our prayers, and He is like even one step ahead of us. He had even more completely answered that prayer. And yeah, it was a long week in a sense that I knew it bothered my husband and that I had to tell all three of the children because we're all so close. They all know something, so you have to kind of tell them ahead of time so that nobody worries. And anyways, God is good. And I'm amazed at what He does. And I'm humbled, and I absolutely cannot express enough. I mean, I literally was preparing my home to go in and have surgery. I was setting up projects for me to work on, literally in kits for recovery. This is not my first rodeo. And, I'd already talked to my husband about, we're going to have to think this through because with your job situation, da-da-da-da-da. So, thank you to all of y'all who prayed. I am humbled and honored and cannot thank you enough because our God heard your prayers. And where two or more are gathered in my name, there He is also. So, He heard us. He did something so miraculous. And I'm honored that He allowed me to be a part of this story. And it's humbling for sure. And, not to say that everything's perfect and all that kind of stuff. It's not. I mean, it's life. But I was amazed at the people who were there for me. And I was amazed, and I was again reassured as to who was not. Who, in other words, who are my close confidants? Who are the people that are there for me in my corner? Who are the people that I go to? My very close, wise Christian friends. It's night and day, guys. And, I've said this many times. I taught my children many times. You love, you encourage, you are always kind to everyone and care. But Proverbs talks a lot about in the first 10 to 15 chapters of walking with wise men. Who do you trust? Even Jesus had 12 disciples, and one of them betrayed Him. So He had 11 close confidants, His mom, a few other ladies. Recognize it's okay to not tell everybody everything. But when that blessing comes, it is great to tell everyone of God's greatness. It is by Him that I am here. He created me. He knew what was going to happen that day. When that doctor looked at my throat, He knew what was going to happen in that hospital, and He already provided a way. So, I know I'm gushing, but I just wanted to share with you guys, your messages were amazing. I mean, I cannot thank you enough. And the emails were amazing, and God has given me a couple of really great, sweet, dear, amazing friends on this channel, and one in particular who has been there with me from the get-go of difficulties. And there are several of you that have been just so amazing through this process. So, I was ready to kind of get moving, and I thought, well, I got the, clean bill of health, my blood pressure's good, blah, blah, blah. And then this other came up. But that's okay. That's how Satan works. He likes chaos, guys. But when we can have peace in the storm because Jesus gives us that peace in the storm, man, it's all Him. It's all Him. It's just like this 10 says right here, I am so blessed by a God who is so gracious and so kind, and so are you that call Him Lord and Savior. So, all right. Not just a Dollar Tree haul, was it, guys? So, anyways, I'll probably retitle this Not Just Dollar Tree haul, but I did want to share with you guys immediately. This will go up first before I do anything else, and I'm excited to be with you guys. I'm excited to be on a real table. Woo! It's such a blessing. And I still have my beautiful black and red buffalo checkered cloth on here, and it's flannel and backed and wipeable, and I saw we kind of messed it up over the holidays, but that's okay. We've got a cloth one too that I put over it, when we have fancy dinners. So I can't keep this room completely messed up, but I can enjoy it while I'm here. So, all right, my dear sweet friends, thank you so much for stopping by. Please like if you're a part, if you like this video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. We'd love to have you be a part of us. Hit that notification bell. Leave a comment. Email me at josephinesdesigns.com@gmail.com if you have any questions. And it's a good day. It's a great day. It's been great to tell this story over and over and over and tell people how great our God is. And I mean, I feel like I've hardly even gotten started, but I go to Walmart. There we go. Because I've been, we're a small town, and I believe, every time I go into Walmart or HEB and you look them in the eye and say, how's your day? And I've gotten to kind of get to know some of these amazing ladies and people that work there. And, God has a reason for all that. So it's amazing. All right, my dear sweet friends, I pray that your day is so very blessed, creative, and lovely. Go out this day and find your joy and focus on what is good, what is lovely, what is pure, as Scripture tells us. Keep your mind on things above and not on the things of this earth, and seek Him in all that you do, and He will guide your steps, hands down. All right. I so appreciate all y'all. Thank you for stopping by. I'll be talking to y'all soon. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.